Peace and blessings. It's the one and only Ray Imperial Flame Kennels. Taking a minute to holler at y'all. I'm out here with the old man at 10 years old. He's the oldest of the dogs in the camp. For those of you who may be new to the channel, I welcome you. I do want to say that, if you're wondering why I'm in a graveyard, well, this is where I choose to walk my animals so that they can be off leash. As you can see, there's no leash or collar on this man. He's out here doing what he does. But this is where I call this the boneyard. And the boneyard is something of a training ground for my animals. But they can literally run free, unfettered, without a whole lot of interference. The likelihood of us running into others is minimal. And in addition to that, it provides me a very wide landscape view so that I can always see. Leave that. I don't know what that is. Come on, let's go. Leave it. Come. So this is the old man. I want to talk a little bit today about something that most people really get confused. And I've had a lot of people, newcomers to the channel, look at some of my older videos and say, hey, that's not a pit bull, right? Especially this guy here, right? They see the size of the size of his head, and they see his build, and they, immediately scream, hey, that's not a pit bull. Despite their misgivings about his lineage, the fact of the matter is, his pedigree, his pet goes back a ways. It's all American Pit Bull Terrier. Now, it is important to distinguish the fact that his lineage is predominantly UKC Pit Bulls. UKC, what does that mean? That means United Kennel Club, right? And the United Kennel Club is the breed that we actually have to thank for the establishment of the American Pit Bull Terrier as a recognized breed, right? So before the UKC, there was no officially recognized breed known as the American Pit Bull Terrier. In fact, in the early years of the formation of the UKC, the title American Pit Bull Terrier hadn't quite been fixed to these dogs. They were called Bull Terriers, American Bull Terriers. A lot of times when you saw them, when you saw the write-up in the magazines and the periodicals, you would see American and the word pit in parentheses, and then the words Bull Terrier. So in a very real way, we have to acknowledge that there are sort of two strains of these dogs, if you will, right? These UKC pit bulls, they do differ substantially, right, in structure and I would say in appearance from what purists, those ADBA guys would like to think of as an American Pit Bull Terrier, right? Or would like to think of it exclusively as an American Pit Bull Terrier. But the fact remains is that the United Kennel Club was formed for the purpose of establishing the American Pit Bull Terrier as a breed, right? There's a little backstory to that. And we'll get into that here shortly. But, my point being that the UKC was actually formed first. And it was because the founder of the UKC, right? The man who established the organization. I forget his name off top. My bad on that, y'all. Y'all could fact check me at some point and holler back in the comment section. But this gentleman had an American Pit Bull Terrier. He had himself a bulldog, but he didn't have no way of registering his bulldog. And so he decided to form the United Kennel Club. And his dog, a bulldog, was the first dog registered with the United Kennel Club. The United Kennel Club was never intended to be exclusively for the American Pit Bull Terrier. It differs from the ADBA substantially in that fact. The ADBA also was formed in a way to sort of record the lineage of dogs that were pretty much, you know, they were box dogs. You know what I mean? The lines were box lines. So I'll leave it there for now, just to let you guys know. Just because a dog does not fit the stereotype of the phenotype that you're used to, does not mean that the dog is not an American Pit Bull Terrier. The UKC Pit Bull is basically where the AKC, American Staffordshire Terrier, was developed from. The DNA in these dogs is old as shit. You know what I mean? Going back to the Oklahoma Kids stock, right? And y'all forgive me, like I'm a little off my game right now. Names ain't just popping into my head right now. But right, Earl Tudor's Blackjack, actually Blackjack Jr., right? But that's the story of, you know, the structure and appearance on these dogs. Come on, let's go, big boy. Yep. At 10 years old, man, he ain't, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be lying if I say he ain't lost a step, but like, man, listen, boy's impeccable. You know what I mean? This is not an American bully. This is not a dog that's going to die in 80-degree heat. You know what I mean? At 10 years old, this dog can still work. Let's go. And the UKC did their part in maintaining the breed as a working dog. In the early days of the UKC, there were actually sanctioned matches. But as public sentiment kind of grew against the whole, you know, ring sport thing, the UKC, in keeping with public sentiment, moved away from the sanctioned matches and the recognition of dog fighting, period. Right? So they disavowed dog fighting, and they have, you know, kind of gone mainstream. Many of the breeders who went with the UKC, and we're talking, this goes back a ways, guys. So, you know, this is not anything new I'm talking about. The UKC was formed in again, I don't even want to put it out there because I don't have the facts in front of me. I'm just out here kind of strolling with the dog, sharing some information with y'all. But the UKC was in fact the first registry formed for the American Pit Bull Terrier. Now, it did include other breeds, the American Boston or the Boston Terrier, the bloodhounds, coonhounds, all that kind of stuff, you know. Basically all breeds, you know what I mean? They've never been exclusively American Pit Bull Terrier. But as far as a organization that was devoted to the development and designation of this breed, yeah, the UKC was it, man. The UKC is who we have to thank for the American Pit Bull Terrier being recognized as an official breed. Of course, with that, they brought in breed standards, the like, yada, yada, yada. I will end this video by saying there has always been controversy and, let's just say, competition, right, between UKC breeders and ADBA breeders, so to speak, right? Some ADBA breeders, because of the fact that some of the UKC dogs were being bred for the ring and show and things like that, had gotten to the point where they had just kind of look down their noses at the UKC dogs, right? Like, oh, those ain't real, sporting dogs, man. Like, so